So you think being a stormtrooper is cool? White armor, laser blasters, marching across the galaxy. But what if I told you it's one of the most miserable jobs in the entire Star Wars universe? And no, it's not just because they can't aim straight. That's only the beginning of their problems. Because behind that helmet is a life that's lonely, dangerous, and believe it or not, it's brutal in ways you probably never imagined. But the question is, why does it suck so badly? And what's the one reason that might be even worse than all of the rest? On the surface, stormtroopers look like the Empire's elite, marching in perfect formations, standing guard beside Darth Vader himself. But here's the twist, that polished image is a big lie. Most recruits are not born as soldiers, they're drafted, conscripted, or manipulated into service. Many are orphans, many don't even choose to be there. And while you would expect them to be proud of the training they went through and the military equipment they get to wear, the truth is heartbreaking. Literally, their armor looks intimidating, but can't even stop a single blaster shot. Their training is rushed, designed for quantity over quality. But if the equipment is this bad, then how do they even survive on the battlefield? Well, most of them don't. The Empire doesn't care about individual troopers. Stormtroopers are not valued as people. They are treated like endless, replaceable parts of a war machine. That's why entire squads are casually sacrificed during battles, often against hopeless odds. Think about the Death Star. Thousands of troopers stationed there, vaporized in an instant. No funerals, no recognition, no memory. But here's the darker truth. This did not happen by accident. The system is built to make them replaceable because fear and obedience are more useful to the Empire than survival or anything else. And that brings us to a disturbing question. If survival does not matter, what does a stormtrooper's daily life even look like? Imagine living every waking moment inside a suffocating white armor. The helmet restricts vision. The comm system constantly glitches. Food is just tasteless nutrient paste, eaten in silence. Most troopers are isolated from their families forever. They're shuffled from planet to planet, never truly belonging anywhere. And outside the battlefield, long hours of standing guard in endless corridors, waiting for orders that may never come. But here's the kicker. Even when they're off duty, they're never free. Every word, every movement is monitored. Any sign of hesitation or worse, disloyalty can mean immediate punishment, which leads us to another nightmare. Who do stormtroopers fear more? The rebels they're fighting or the very commanders they serve? So let's talk about their bosses. Because stormtroopers did not just serve the Empire, they served commanders like Darth Vader, who was known to choke subordinates to death if they failed.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Imagine reporting to work every day knowing a single mistake could mean instant execution. Fear was not just a tactic, it was their entire life. When your leaders are that terrifying, how do stormtroopers keep their sanity? Well, most don't. Stormtroopers are stripped of individuality. They lose their names, they're replaced with numbers, their humanity is completely erased. And yet, some troopers do start to question it. But here's the catch. Breaking free is almost impossible. Desertion means death. Staying means living as a number until you're inevitably discarded. So the real misery is not just the danger or the boredom, it's the crushing weight of hopelessness. And hopelessness has a side effect that's even more chilling. When you can't escape, you adapt. And for stormtroopers, That means convincing themselves that obedience is survival. They normalize brutality, they justify massacres as orders. Some even start to believe the propaganda because the alternative, realizing you're a slave in an armor, is just too unbearable. But here's the paradox. The harder they cling to obedience, the more meaningless their deaths become. So why keep fighting? Why keep serving a system that erases you? The shocking answer is that most stormtroopers never even ask that question. And the few who do either die trying to leave or end up hunted across the galaxy. Is there anything more sad than knowing your purpose is to lose? Underneath the armor, they are human. They laugh, they fear, they dream, though we rarely get to see it. In tiny glimpses across the timeline, we see stormtroopers chatting casually or hesitating before pulling a trigger. That is the real tragedy. They were not evil by default. They were trapped. Their choice were taken away from them. They were forced to obey. And deep down, maybe each one wondered, if I had taken off the helmet sooner, could I have had a different life? So what's the one thing that truly makes being a stormtrooper miserable? It's not bad armor, it's not the constant danger, it's not even the ruthless empire. It's that you are forgotten. No legacy, no memory, no story of your own, just a nameless figure in white armor marching towards a fate you will never escape. And even if you're loyal until the very end, history won't remember you as a hero. You will ever only be remembered as a stormtrooper. So yes, it really does suck to be a stormtrooper. Behind the helmet is not a warrior's life, but a trap and a broken identity. This raises an even stranger question. If the Empire treated them so poorly, why do so many still choose to serve? That's a mystery for another day, because the real secret is not just why their lives were miserable, but why millions of them stay loyal anyway. So here's a question I'll leave you with. If the Empire treated stormtroopers so badly, why do millions of them stay loyal? Is it fear, or is it something even darker? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you want to be the first to know the real answer, make sure to subscribe, because the next video will dive into the shocking truth behind their loyalty.